Today we paint an ogre from Axiom Miniatures. We start a loose Zenithal Prime with an airbrush. And then we build up a monochromatic foundation for the miniature. Once we're happy with the build-up of the foundation colors, we highlight aggressively. We exaggerate the highlights and then bring back the colors with washes, speed paints, and even some glazes. At the latter part of the video, I'll try to explain the differences of washes and glazes. Hi, I'm Don. Welcome to my channel. This channel is supported by all these awesome brands. Also, special thanks to The Army Painter for making this video possible. By the way, do check out my discount codes and affiliate links down below. It helps the channel a lot and it will give you some discounts. I highly recommend the Gallery Swallowtail if you're looking for an airbrush for priming, varnishing, or even base colors. I started the painting with black primer and then uniform gray, and then after the gray paint, I paint with white. If you plan to paint with speed paints or any contrast type paints, I recommend that you start with a very white underpainting. You could see our loose Zenithal having black primer at the undersides, but practically a solid white from the top. If you use white ink, I recommend that you varnish the miniature first before painting with speed paints. Now we just need to build up the monochromatic underpainting of this miniature. I wanted a dark foundation for the mini before we build up towards the highlights. I used desaturated speed paints, green grays, and blue grays to build up the foundation. I thinned down my speed paints here roughly around 20% speed paint medium. Again, later in the video, I'll try to explain why you want to use medium and water depending on the effects that you want to achieve. Since I thinned down the speed paints with medium, it added a little bit more transparency, but it also slowed down the drying time of the speed paint. The slower drying time gives me a short window to blend the edges of the speed paint. Other than blending the edges, I work fast and use a relatively big brush. Also, since I thinned down the speed paints and they're a little bit more transparent, I applied them in multiple layers. I use a hair dryer in between layers so that I won't produce nasty textures. After painting the dark foundation colors with speed paints, I felt I needed to paint the rim of the miniatures because I'm getting distracted with the bright rim of the mini. So I simply use black marker for the rim. But I think I need a wider marker, a bigger marker for rim painting. After painting the rim black, I wanted to paint the candles really bright. So I used the white marker to make sure that it's super white. Molotow markers are very opaque, so you don't need to apply them in multiple layers. I just applied them in a single coat. After the painting with the markers, I went back to adding darker tones on some shade areas of the miniature. You may use more thinned down speed paints or simply use washes so that you have darker shade areas. Now we have a good foundation. We have a good, dark, and monochromatic foundation colors for the miniature. This is now ready for some highlights. Now, if you're liking this video, do give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Now, before painting the highlights, I realized that I had to paint some details. First, I needed to paint the candles. It needs some base colors. So I simply used the Zealot Yellow speed paint marker for the base color of the candles. After painting the candles, I had to paint the vines all over the miniature. I wanted it desaturated, so I used desaturated cool greens. I used a detailed Kolinsky brush from Foxbite Hobbies with the painting of the vines. The colors from the desaturated cool greens complemented our foundation colors really well. After the painting of the vines, I move on to painting some ochre browns on some parts of the miniature. I'm using battle dress colors from the historical sets. If you don't have the historical paints, you could simply use colors from the light neutral striad. You could start with Dusty Skull or Gray Castle and then finish up with Skeleton Bone for your highlights. The skeleton bone is a warm, kinda desaturated, like pre-highlight color before we do aggressive highlighting. Pardon as the video jumped to with bright highlights with brain matter beige because I really enjoyed the highlighting, so I forgot to record it on video. For the very bright white highlights, I simply use white marker. I also use the white marker for very obvious edge highlighting like the edges of the cloth and edges of the armor, similar to my previous video which was aggressive highlighting of another miniature. But for most of the white highlights you see in the video, I'm just using matte white thinned down with Warpaint Stabilizer. I thin down the white paint so that it has better flow and will make the highlighting easier or faster, more comfortable with the brush. As you can see in the video, I'm very sketchy, I'm painting the white paint in a very sketchy manner. The sketchy manner, the cross-hatching, and the swift strokes, the fine lines, will give us a really nice underpainting for the glazes and colors later. Now we add in the colors. You could use washes or speed paints or even glazing with thinned down Warpaint's Fanatic. In this part of the video, I'm using Warpaint's Fanatic thinned down with Fluid Matte Medium. Fluid Matte Medium adds a little bit more flow to the paint and it adds transparency. You might ask, why am I not using the typical glaze medium? Because glaze medium is a little bit more runny, and I don't like runny paints. Also, the glaze medium, if you add too much, will make the paints too transparent. Thus, your painting will be a little bit more time-consuming. So I prefer matte fluid medium or fluid matte medium, not matte medium because matte medium doesn't add as much transparency. Okay, now I realize I need to do another video about mediums. However, you can see in the video right now that the Warpaint's Fanatics are a little bit more translucent than I intended to. This is fine because working with translucency or more transparent paints means you have more control. It will be more time consuming, but you could see the buildup of the colors or the glazes. You may also do the glazing with speed paints. Thin down the speed paints roughly around 1:1 or even 2 parts speed paint medium and 1 part speed paint. But 1:1 is a good starting point. The great thing about glazing with speed paints is that they're more saturated and they dry to a very nice matte finish in comparison to Warpaint's Fanatics. The main advantage of glazing with regular acrylics though is that you get a little bit more control in terms of the buildup of the colors. Also, you could create more subtle textures. You could still do cross-hatching or stippling with glaze paint or thin down regular acrylics. So it will produce some nice textures, very subtle nice textures when you're glazing with regular paints. But if you're just going for a tabletop plus miniature painting standard, speed paints will give you the results that you want. Adding colors over the aggressive highlights with speed paints will give you a very bright finish. Now we're introducing yellow tones to the miniature. Notice that I did not paint the areas of the highlights of the areas that I intended to be yellows. I made sure that the areas that I wanted to be yellowish remained bright before adding in the colors. Now to quickly add more contrast to the painting, I simply used dark red tone wash and dark blue tone wash. The miniature is still shiny at this point because the washes are still fresh and kinda wet. Now I wanted to push the color especially on the OSL areas, so you could see in the video, I'm using some fluoro paints. I use some orange and red fluorescent paints for the OSL areas. I also use some blue fluorescent paints on the opposite side to bring a little bit more color on the cloth parts of the miniature. Now you could see I intentionally overdid the fluorescent paints so that we could paint more definition with the final highlights. Oh, by the way, I did not show it in the video. I gave the miniature a quick matte varnish before painting the final highlights. Now at this point of the painting process, it's a matter of just painting bright yellows, ice yellow, and even white highlights to the miniature. I kept the areas opposite the OSL dark. I did not add very bright highlights on those areas. Now, before my final thoughts, a huge thanks to all my patrons at Patreon, Hajime Model Studio, and of course, The Army Painter for making this video possible. Now, since you're still here, let me try to explain a wash, the difference of a wash and a glaze. Basically, a glaze is a filter. It adds a thin layer of like a film, like a thin layer of color on the surface of the miniature, especially even if the surface is a raised area. For example, you have a yellow part and you want transition towards orange, you could simply use like glazes or glazing with orange paint. Now a wash, on the other hand, the main intention of using a wash is so that this wash will settle in the crevices. So could you glaze or filter with a wash? Of course you can, especially if you don't allow it to settle in the crevices. Now, could you make speed paint act more like a wash? Yes, just add more water, which adds more surface tension. Now, do tell me below if you want a dedicated video about mediums. That's it, Pansit. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Until next video, guys. Bye! If you like this video, you might like these other videos.